Hello, welcome back to the I2C Illuminate videos, and we're going to be taking a look at Quick3Lights. So I'm just going to jump in here and I'm going to add a cloner and a few text objects. So more graph text, more text, and I'll just change this to say just the letter R. Press Shift R, which is render. There we go. Letter R. I'm going to change the font style, something a bit more interesting. One really nice font I like to use is Reboard. So let's look for Reboard. Reboard. This looks pretty cool. And just give these some general settings. So I'll give it some depth and then set it to middle. Okay, so I'll make a bunch of copies, change the text to read something else. This can be Q and this can be S. Okay, so I'll take those guys, drop them in the cloner, and in the cloner I'll set it to grid array, set the count up pretty high and the size down so they're all like really intersecting. And then I'll go into simulation, rigid body, and under force we'll change the follow position to 9. It's fine. So just hit play and nothing really happens because it's being treated as a solid object. So we go down to collisions, inherit tag, apply tag to children. Actually goes to all. So it's gonna stick for a bit and then they all just blow up. And from this little cluster of letters we get here. Now to get them to randomize a bit more, I'll go more graph effector and choose random. And go back. And under that random, we'll randomize their scale, uniform scale. Let's randomize them a little bit. Rotation, we'll just do in all directions. Cool. So the position can stay on. Just hit play, and this kind of blows up. Give it a bit of time to settle down. That looks pretty good. And we'll pause, grab the tag, go to dynamics, set initial state. That way they stick that way, and then we just have a big blob of letters. So that looks pretty interesting. So this is what we're going to light with Quick3Lights. So let me go ahead to File, Load Object Preset, I2C Illuminate, I2C Quick3Lights, and we get a 3 lighting kit set going on. So you can see them down there. This is my first light. Here's my second one, and my third one is probably lost somewhere in here. Oh, there it is. There's the third one. So the first setting you need to change is go to I2C Quick3Lights section and find the light radius is 700. So just crank this up until it's high enough. That's still not high enough, so you can hold down Shift, click on the arrows, and then just drag up or down. I'll really spread these lights out. And I also want to change the size. So we'll come here to light size, change this to 1000 by 1000. Now I already know that's the size I need, so that should work out pretty well. So this is how the light kit starts out. You have a white light, a purplish light, and a bluish light. And when you render, you get a pretty decent light setup to begin with. So there's my fill light, there's my key light, and there's my backlight. Now I can kind of change angle here so it looks a bit more towards what you'd expect with 3-point lighting. So the main reason they're colorized this way is, one, it looks pretty cool, and two, you can also know which light is which. And currently what we have is that our key light is set in a certain axis so that everything stays nice and uniform. So now we need to change a few things, or we want to change a few things. So let's take a look at the settings we have. We have shadows. You can choose area, shadow maps, ray traced. You can choose a light type, so you can have a disk or you can have rectangle. You can also have a sphere. You also need to tick this Z size if you need to keep it uniform, and a cube as well. So I like to stick with the disk because it also looks pretty cool in reflections. Next we have key light section, fill light section, and backlight section. Now these three sections are generally the same in terms of what the controls do. So let's take a look at what those controls are. We have key enabled, so we also have fill enabled. But so when you take control of your key enabled, you can switch it on or off. You can also grab fill enable there and the back enable. So that's how you set up. You also have key intensity, you have the color, and you have the XZ. Now you find that the color is a pretty small box, so if you click on this triangle here, it opens up and you get more settings. So if you're in XZ, I want to explain how XZ works. Currently, our camera should be in the plus Z direction. Sorry, minus Z. So Z should be pointing away from where the camera is, which is where the standard camera actually starts out. So if we're kind of in this direction, we can notice that these lights are actually arranged in the X and Z, which means as if you're looking from above, you can see how they're arranged. So currently key XZ is there, so you see there's my light, XZ for fill is there, and back is there, so there it is. So use these controls to position where they go, as if you're looking from the top. So basically down here is the Z space. You also have the same for this other light and this other guy here. So once you've positioned them generally in X or Z, you can come over here to key height and use it to change the height of the light, but the X and Z will always stay the same, so pretty handy. So I'm going to put this slightly above, and I'll come to my XZ for the fill light and then just move it somewhere down here like that, and my backlight is just good where it is, maybe a little bit lower, that's fine. So I can go ahead and hit render, and you can see I've positioned my light. Pretty simple. Let's go ahead and check out the other stuff. So down here you have showing reflections, and to demonstrate that I need reflections. So I'll just take these guys and fillet cap them and give them a material with reflections, not too intense. So when you hit render, you'll see over here we can see our reflection of the key light. Down here, up here you can see the backlight is being reflected, and here we have the fill light slightly visible. So it's pretty good. If you don't like it, you can always change the size of the shape. So as you can see, there's the curves you get from the disc, which I really like. So that's what showing reflections does. You can show in render as well, which once it's finished, I can come up here and just change this to shadow maps so it renders a bit faster, and you'll see actually it's this ambient occlusion. So render, and whoa, way faster. So you can see that it's showing in the render. You can also switch it off to hide it from the render view. And finally we have follow camera, which is my favorite part. Now if you have, say you look at this model this way and then you want to spin around, you can't really see a render of this, because once you render, you know, now it's just the backlight and the fill light, which look pretty cool. I mean, that's not bad, but initially this angle is the lighting you're going for. So you can switch on follow camera to make the lights follow the camera. So you can see where the backlight is right now, and you can see that it's actually sticking to its current position. So let me go ahead and show that from the top view with a new camera. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new camera, look through it, and you see that as I move the camera around, you can see the lights actually sticking to it. So that's pretty useful, as well as if I pull out of the camera and use the default camera, you'll see that the lights still follow that camera. So it ends up looking very nice. So no matter what angle you look from, you'll always have your fill light on that side, your key light there. If you don't like that anymore, you can always come down, switch off follow camera. At first it doesn't reset, but just move the camera just a little bit and you'll see they are back to normal. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's the default Quick3Lights. You can change the colors as you wish and all that stuff. You can also dig in and check out or you can see each individual light. So you can go to the backlight and say add visibility for it if you need. Jump into these advanced settings as you need them. Also, we have a light target, so you can move this around to change exactly where the lights point. Generally with area lights this doesn't matter where they're pointing, but it's pretty good for reflections if your lights are pointing towards your object. So once you've set all those up and you know it looks pretty good, let's go ahead and check the other lights. So I'm going to delete Quick3Lights and add Go to Illuminate Q3L warm. And this is basically a preset light which has all the settings pretty much set up pretty well, as well as colors and all that stuff. So when you render in the picture viewer or in this current place, you get this sort of lighting. So you have, there's your key, there's your backlight, there's your fill light up there. So if you don't like that being there, you can go ahead, that's the key light, it's fine. You can change the backlight, sorry, the fill light, put it over here, move it down slightly, and maybe dim it a bit, and then you render, and you know, there you go, all done and all fixed. So that is the Quick3Lights. I hope you like it. I'd love to hear your feedback, so hold on Twitter, Facebook, or on the blog. For now, that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.